Would you drive an Applemobile? If the rumors we've been hearing are true, then Apple is working on an electric car. What? Does this make sense for the computer company? And what would an Apple car be like? Guys, what do you think? Lewis, what do you think an Apple car is going to be like?
Expensive, for one. And I think it would have technology that already exists except perfected. So a lot of cars right now, they have like their built-in GPS, they have like, a lot of like hands-free kind of stuff. So Apple's just going to take that to the next level. They're going to make that as seamless as, going from your iPhone to your MacBook.
Do you think it's only going to be like the electronics, though, the software inside of it?
I think the software will play a huge role of it, and I also think it's going to be the rumor is that it's an electric car, right? So they're poaching engineers from Mercedes and from Tesla, which is interesting. The fact that those are two big luxury, automakers.
Yeah.
So
it's going to have to be a luxury car, right? I mean,
yeah.
Apple's not going to make the Yugo of electric cars. They're going to make one that is a status symbol,
I also read that it's a minivan, though, and when I read that, I was like, I don't see them doing a minivan. That's not that. I mean, like, yes, luxury minivans exist, but I mean, not an SUV. I would see them do a luxury SUV, not a luxury minivan.
You think about the demographics, and maybe you're talking about like the key people, right? The families that they're, the affluent families that they're hitting on. I did not even consider like separating that they would be focusing on like the electronics of it versus the mechanics of it. I wondered if they were going to like rebuild the concept of a car from the ground up, like rethinking brakes and floor mats and everything. Is it just going to be one giant orb, or like, Dan, what do you think?
Well, I think it's going to be. I mean, if it's following suit with everything else that Apple does, I think it's going to be amazing. I think I would probably hold off until buying the iCar 7,
right?
Just based on past things. But here's the thing, though: if they don't call this thing the Apple Core, it's a huge fail on their part. But I'm excited about it. All that to say, I'm very excited about it. I think that the car industry needs to be shaken up because we've been complacent with fossil fuel for way too long. We've settled for mediocrity in design, and I honestly think that Apple could be the one to really kickstart the car industry again.
I wonder if they're really going to change the look of the car, because the reason why cars all look the same is because that's the most efficient way to build a car with airlines and all that stuff. So will it look very different? I don't know, but
I don't know.
To me, the best news is that really Apple products have a way of, how you say, being embraced when other companies' attempts fail.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Like the tablet, like Windows was trying to get tablets into people's hands forever.
A long time.
And then Apple is like, here's one, and people are like, yay! And Apple has, what, $180 billion in cash that they're sitting on? Which,
good heavens.
I don't know, is that enough to build a car from scratch and market it?
They could make cars, scratch it, start from scratch again.
Yeah.
Build, I mean, they have the money and they have the R&D to go crazy.
I mean, I know 180 billion would go pretty far for me personally, but in the car industry, I don't know.
And then you see Microsoft come out with a car the following year, and everyone's like, no, that car sucks.
Right.
Yes, it's a Microsoft Cube.
Right. We changed a few things about it. The interface is a little different.
It has a stylus.
Now, the problem is a stylus. But here's the thing that bothers me, though. The only thing that I'm concerned about is that Apple is going to have some proprietary thing that, like a proprietary plug that nobody else in the world has, and you can't plug it in to recharge anything.
Right, because the electronic cars, listen to me, the electric cars are on, like, they have it's like not a syndicate, but they've all kind of agreed to use the same kind of charging platform, right? Or at least Tesla has open sourced theirs, so anyone can use the same chargers and build chargers and something like that. Anyway, it's like a consortium that they're getting together, and that would be a worry that Apple would be like, no, we're going to use our own because it's better and it has a faster connectivity than that one, and now all of a sudden our plugs are splintered.
Right, it's like a 12-prong plug that nobody on Earth has.
Right, they make a new one, and just this one's flatter. Oh, and then what happens when, like, 6 car generations down the road, they change the adapter, and then everyone,
That's when companies will make an adapter to fit that adapter.
Exactly. You could buy a car adapter on Monoprice.
Yes.
I was about to say, Merit Line. You get it through
Merit Line. Merit Line will
It'll take a while to get there, but it'll work just fine.
Yes.
Well, that's our 2 cents. What's yours? What do you think an Apple car would be like? Would you drive one? Tell us your opinions in the comments below. For DealNews.com, along with Luis Ramirez and Dan Ledbetter, I'm Jeff Summergy. Goodbye.